Welcome to this week's installment of the DMV Entertainment Report, brought to you by DMV All Access. I'm your hostess, DMV Socialite. Thanks for tuning in.
I am also your host, Black Boo, and I would like to introduce you to this week's guest.
How you doing? Eric Kennedy, head BRAAT, CEO of BRAAT Music.
All guests be trying to be so cool when they introduce themselves, Johnny.
Yeah, cool, like
you know what I'm saying.
Let me get my jiggle.
Hey, go ahead.
How you doing? Eric Kennedy, CEO of BRAAT Music.
So a serious question in this area is, what exactly is a DMV?
It's Baltimore, Richmond, Virginia, places out past Germantown, Montgomery County, whatever, Gaithersburg, considered still DMV.
Yes.
But how far and to what extent? Because I hear a lot of people.
Maryland, Virginia, even Roanoke, Virginia Beach.
Roanoke.
Yeah.
Roanoke.
Yeah. West, even certain parts of West Virginia is considered DMV. Yes, Baltimore, Montgomery County, Money County, PG County, DC. It's all DMV.
I think it's a complicated subject, you know what I'm saying? Because the further you go out, the less recognition people want to give you. The less important you become. Because, you know, the people in D.C. say, oh, you a PG Bama. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, I'm one of them dudes they be talking about. Look, I was born in D.C. I stayed in D.C. till I was 6. And then I moved to Maryland. And I stayed out of Maryland. And now I live in Virginia. So, you know, whatever. But, you know, I feel like for the benefit of the struggle, that we can't kind of separate ourselves, because all of us are going through the same struggle. Richmond, Baltimore, you know, Mo County, Glen Burnie, like all of those places are trying to get on, and if we can collectively come together to get on, then, you know, the powers are in the numbers. So I think it's just a benefit for us to be together more so than, you know, if we should be called the DMV or not.
You know what? Anyway, I already knew you felt some kind of way about it, but DMV, because people ask me all the time, D stands for DC, the District of Columbia, Maryland, MD, and Virginia, VA.
But that's considered the DC metro
not that
area.
Not the DC metropolitan area, because if so, then we would have said the DC metropolitan area. We say the DMV, and now that's stemming from the problem we have in this area. We don't know community. We don't know how to support each other. Everybody wants to separate and do this whole little segregation thing, or my side of the street is better than your side of the street.
Back in the day, when it wasn't a DMV, it was just DC. You know, people in Maryland said they were from DC, and people in Virginia said they were in DC, but it was only certain places like Alexandria and Arlington and Prince George's County. They would say that. But look, so they would say, Northern Virginia and then Prince George's County. They would say that they were from DC because you can get to DC and Virginia in a matter of 5 to 10, 15, 20 minutes. All right? So we're including Baltimore in this DMV thing, but Baltimore City separates themselves from Baltimore County. Right. So Baltimore City is like, nah, Baltimore County ain't really Baltimore. That's the county.
I think it's a metropolitan reach, me personally, because if you go, and anybody know, streets are ran by the jail system. And if you go to jail and get locked up, Baltimore dudes is over there screaming Baltimore. They are not saying no DMV. DC dudes is in DC, so it's metropolitan right across the state lines, but I feel, of a 10 square mile radius of DC. As the movement started escalating, there's nothing wrong with stretching that reach out for those that feel they want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
A lot of them dudes don't even come up here. I know dudes that live in Richmond don't even come to DC. They go to Atlanta, or they'll even go to Baltimore before they come here to do music business stuff. So you really got to look at it as a metropolitan. Baltimore to me is not the DMV. I think that they have their own lane, they have their own identity, they got their own sports teams, and they should stand alone as their own brand. The DMV, when you go to Upper Marlboro or you go to Landover, where we mix our sports complex and our cultures, that's the DMV to me.
Around the 495 radius, you in the DMV.
What did you just say? No. He just said,
if you're around the 495, you're around the 495.
The 495, that is the DC metropolitan area, the area that the Metro WMATA covers.
I definitely feel you on that. If we're talking about what do we cover, we cover the entire DMV, but we're talking about the terminology, what it actually means to the people who probably created it and the people who use it most.
That is the DC metropolitan area. We are saying DMV in all for sake of the show. Like, what area do we cover here at the DMV Entertainment Report?
You extended that because Miss Yelling them never claimed DC. They claimed where they was from, down there. When you had Teddy Riley move from New Orleans, from New York, he didn't say I'm in the metropolitan area. He said, no, I'm in Newport News, Virginia. They don't claim this. I'm just saying. But if you go to Landover or in the surrounding metropolitan where we mix, where they commit crimes here and jump across the border. That's a DMV situation because their jurisdiction lines cross. But your cops can't go down to Richmond and talk about, hey, why you speeding? But the metropolitan police officer can cross the state line and get you in Landover.
Like, what he's saying is Baltimore probably don't use the DMV tag that much. Baltimore is listen, look, here's a perfect example. I saw my man they use it. Well, I saw my man King Swag on 106 and Park, and then I saw a dude from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? The dude from Baltimore didn't say DMV. The dude from Baltimore was screaming Baltimore, and King Swag was screaming DMV. So I have nothing against Baltimore. Baltimore, I support y'all. I don't care. DMV, y'all part of the Maryland. I'm just saying that it's a lot of people out here who probably wouldn't consider that. So maybe that should be open for topic. Maybe y'all should comment on this actual page or on this video and give your opinion of what you think, DMV should include.
Niggas I know that's from DC won't even say, will say they ain't from the DMV. They like, I'm from DC. Ain't no DMV. It's DC.
Right. You get your license in DC at the DMV. In Maryland, it's MVA.
Look, you still getting your ass beat by the cops in every location that we talking about. Exactly. You still getting your food stamps, your EBT cards. You still doing all of that, man. Like, all of this separation that we got going on here. It's unnecessary,
Do you think that creating that DMV movement is really working to bring more eyes and ears to the DMV movement cause? Is it really working?
One thing that I believe in, I believe that more people brought together on the same page, going same direction, focused together, is stronger than all these little groups of people everywhere doing all type of stuff. That to me sounds like confusion. And still to say that anybody who starts here and they feel like they got to go elsewhere to get discovered or elsewhere to start something monumental or whatever, of momentum. If people were to come together and use their skills and their talent and their energy and all that other stuff, instead of saying, oh, I'm across the street, oh, I'm from up the street, oh, I'm from DC, oh, I'm from wherever, then I feel we would be better collectively than we are separate.
Is it working?
Obviously, we're not together.
Do you feel is it working?
I'm being asked, is this working?
Basically, DMV is
if we were together, if we were to come together, I feel... If we were to come together, because I don't think there's a movement in place. I don't think nobody's like
the DMV thing if it's no movement.
Actually, the DMV, I created DMV All Access, and the reason I created DMV All Access, it had nothing to do with DC metropolitan area. As an artist, I was doing Bob Smoke TV. With this shirt on that they get away to Joan about.
That is not a DMV shirt right there.
It's not a DMV shirt. But I created it for the people in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. If you look at the actual logo, it has the DC flag, the Maryland flag, and the Virginia flag. So my people down in 7 cities, VA, are from the V and the DMV. My people over in Roanoke are from the V and the DMV. My people in Beemore, Glen Burnie, even all the way out to Frostburg are in the M of Maryland. And DC does not stand for Delaware. The D is for DC. So mostly I think the term came from people who actually traveled outside of their block. Because when you went to California, or if I traveled to Texas, people would say, where are you from? If I say Maryland, then they're going to assume I'm from Baltimore. If I say I'm from Virginia, they're going to assume I'm from Richmond. If I say I'm from the DMV, then they know I'm around the Beltway. So in a sense, that's where the term DMV came from. But from a monetary standpoint, the whole DC, Maryland, Virginia is included. Peace.
Shout out to Wale. Shout out to Tabby Benet. Shout out to Raheem Devon. Shout out to Boss.
Boss Man.
Yeah, Boss Man. Shout out to
Paula Campbell.
Yeah, Muller Man, Paula Campbell, with some VA people. You know,
Chris Brown.
Yeah, Chris Brown, whatever. It's working. I feel like it's working because you have so many people saying the same thing. So the actual brand DMV is well known throughout the nation, maybe even the world. When they say Wale, where's Wale from? They don't say DC, they say DMV. When they talk about whoever that's from this area, they now say DMV instead of DC. So I think it's working.
I definitely think it's working. The movement is getting bigger every day. It's been increasing since like the early 2000s. People are individually doing things to make the force move forward and make us recognizable in this area and identifiable in this area. So I appreciate everything that everybody doing with their contribution in this DMV movement.
It's working, but I gotta say, need a little bit more unity. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, they want to turn right. I mean, at the same time, yeah, you're right. You know, me being the outsider looking in, I see a lot of people like, yo, I ain't from the DMV. They want to turn their nose up, but they don't want to support. Like, hey, he ain't from DC. He ain't from such and such. You know what I mean? Yo, if they repping in the DMV, you should support.
Of course it's working. I would definitely say promote positive energy. Yes, it's working. Yes, there's unity. Yes, we're helping each other. Yes, we're supporting each other. Stop all the backbiting and all that other stuff. Leave that in 2011 or whatever you want to call it, because I believe the negative energy is, if anything, what's causing the crabs in the barrel.
It's your boy Black Boo from Mambo Sauce, lead vocals of Mambo Sauce, also the co-host of Up and Up. You can follow me on Twitter at Black of Mambo, and yeah, tune in next week. Peace.
Man, Eric Kennedy, CEO of BRAAT Music. I do support the DMV. You can catch me on Twitter at BRAAT all day. WorldofBRAAT.com. Holla at your boy.
You already know what it is. Lex Boggie. Catch me on Wednesdays at El Cabanazo. Shout out to the breadwinners. You're doing big things. See me, follow me, you know, on Lex Saggy at Twitter. Holla at your girl.
DJ Infinite Soundz. Get me at DJ M Soundz. That's DJ INF Soundz with a Z. Twitter.com. There you go.
Miss DMV Socialite, Facebook, Twitter, all that other good stuff. But I have my radio show starting next Thursday the 8th. I'm kind of excited. That wasn't a soundtrack. That was like real loud people in the background clapping. No, but RipRadioNetwork.com, March 8th, 11 to 12 a.m. So stay up a little bit longer and let me know what you think.